Hey guys, welcome to the next episode on the Jn'L podcast. Looking forward to recording today, aren't we, Louise?
Yeah, hey, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, and just looking forward to debriefing because that is the topic of today.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
been a crazy couple of weeks. Well, crazy given Corona, but it's just good to. It's going to be a chill episode, and for us just chatting basically.
Why do I feel kind of tense right now? I feel like something's just gonna happen.
The world is tense. The world is very tense right now.
That is true, that is true.
Yeah, but we have had some really good news, haven't we? As the world with the coronavirus announcement, the roadmap.
The roadmap. Honestly, if Boris Johnson doesn't keep his end of the bargain, go back on his word, I will literally march down to number 10 Downing Street and
With a tank. Do you remember they did that when they put a tank outside Parliament? I think it was like Jim's opening or something closed.
no,
And they put a
I'd
tank.
like put some sick spy gear on, like go all Black Widow on him, like flip through the window and just like silently
sure.
kill him.
No, Matt Hancock would punch in the face.
Sorry, that's what's it called, treason? But
It would be
if the
treason.
government, if the government are listening, oh my god, I forgot.
I don't think not if they're listening. We're literally going to post this on the internet. So
That's true.
Yeah,
Imagine,
you just go through like a
some...
civil service like application. They're like, we didn't see on one of your videos.
Fuck.
Yeah, so very incriminating.
I
but,
respect the government. Just gonna say that.
Yeah, well,
Hire me.
Naomi.
Hire me.
Hire me.
Yeah.
You can do a little ad at the end. Yeah, so I mean, how are you feeling about being free, hopefully?
I've already
Touch
booked
wood.
a festival ticket.
What was it again? Wireless?
Boomtown.
Boomtown.
Yes.
Yeah, I think people are like, I think what? Wasn't it supposed to be the 50th anniversary of Glastonbury this year?
Aww.
It was supposed to be last year, but then they shifted
Oh yeah,
it.
they cancelled it.
It was like 250th or like, no, man, not 250th. That'd be way too many years. Like 50th. Imagine.
Glastonbury, the 1800s. Yeah.
Imagine, yeah. It's probably better then. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if that will be this year, but like I'm sure the World Cup's going to be this year. Not the World Cup, Euros, the Olympics as well. So I think everyone's just fingers crossed. I think literally like we break up of lockdown from when?
Wait, do you mean like when like pubs start opening, or like when we're talking like no restrictions?
The last day,
the 21st of June.
21st of June. I think it's like that weekend. The Euros start, and they might actually be in England. And yeah, it's just pubs are going to be open, clubs are going to be open.
Oh my god!
So
to dance in a club again, to be in the black room in the club, get me there right now. I can't wait. Just transport me there.
Yeah, so whoever like brings out songs this summer is just going to make.
Oh my god, they're gonna fucking hell.
Speaking of celebrities, did you see that Golden Globes?
Wait, what with like I follow John Boyega on Instagram and he was just talking about it loads, but other than that, I don't really know.
What I've got so far is Golden Globes yesterday, and it was basically like a really awkward big celebrity Zoom call.
Yeah.
And what's his name from Get Out?
Daniel Killer.
Yeah. Daniel Killer.
Daniel K.
Daniel K, as his friends call him. He got an award basically, but he was on mute the whole time with his like speech, and then basically when he unmuted, they were like, basically run out of time. It was like, you did me dirty, and they just shifted on. Like his whole like big speech could be muted.
What the hell? Who was it? I think it might have been him. You know, who was like, oh yeah, no, it was him. And there was a thing going around, and I'm just being like, he didn't get invited to the like premiere of Get Out.
It wasn't a premiere. It was like, I think there was like a weird like cult following for it, and they did like a festival for it. It wasn't like an official thing. I think it was just like Get Out fanatics held something, and it was sick. I'd definitely go to that, expecting to be invited, and he wasn't. But it wasn't like it wasn't like the premiere back in the day.
I don't know.
But it was like it was definitely a thing. But I think it was like an anniversary festival that some people were holding or something. I don't think it was like legit. So speaking of awards, when I found this out, there's a guy on YouTube, Coleman Hughes. awesome guy, really like level-headed guy on like politics and stuff. He said that 4 out of the last 5 award-winning directors were Latina.
That's pretty sick.
So
go on, Latinas.
Representation,
Woo!
white Oscars, white this, and I think apparently yesterday like Sacha Baron Cohen, who's now become like the most politically correct person of all time, which
he's
is
so jokes. I'm sorry, like he's actually fucking hilarious.
He is great. He is great. So this isn't Sacha Baron Cohen. Not
what you think he's politically correct? No, but he was making fun of it, sort of. I think he was making fun of
both. No. Basically, I think he was just like he just did the whole like this is everyone here is white, everyone white, that kind of thing again, rather than being like he wasn't like crying about it, but he just made some sort of joke towards the Golden Globes being too white again. But
yeah,
who knows?
What can you do?
Make better music, make better
people
movies?
in America.
Do better? I don't know.
Have more black people be in America. I don't really like. You know what I mean? In the Golden Globes and fucking what's it called? Nollywood.
Yeah.
Do you think in the awards in Nollywood there's going to be any white people winning?
I do not. In America, on the BET Awards, literally, there is a thing.
Oh my god, yeah. Do white people win any BET Awards?
Only Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, I was about to say probably like Justin Timberlake, the honorary black.
The honorary soul award or whatever it is. But yeah, I remember. Did you watch that thing on Netflix, Death of 2020?
Yeah, we watched it together.
Oh yeah, literally.
Fucking hell, bro.
Shows how important you asked me. Yeah, so Death of 2020, they were like taking the piss out of like that whole white Oscars thing, and then they went through all the winners, and it was like Parasite, which is the Korean movie.
Oh yeah.
What were the other ones?
I have no idea.
Maybe.
I don't know why we decided to watch that movie like whilst mid like fuckery.
Mid fuckery. While we were like.
Yeah.
Because it was just a good way to send out the year, and got a drink on New Year's Eve, but also a good way to send it out. But yeah, I think that showed like everyone who won that year wasn't white either. So like, we're there.
We're there. We are there. Well done us. Wait, we haven't done anything to contribute to any of this, but
I think we have.
Okay.
Who knows? I think like just by existing as we've
helped
really famous black people on the
super
podcast
famous.
Space.
Yeah,
exactly. We've just like inspired so many people, so I think we're contributing. Cool. So, you wanted to tell me about what's been going on? Speaking of black celebrities, Kanye.
And Kim's divorce. I just like. It's just sad. I feel like it's the end of an era. I'm actually generally emotionally like, oh.
Well, I can't believe this how long they've been together. Like,
yeah, to be fair.
Yeah. Be her like 2-day husband back in the day. The season. Remember, she needed to make a season finale, so she had to marry someone. Sorry, I apologize. I missed.
Fucking hell, Jeremy. 72 days of love.
Of love, just unadulterated marriage.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, as soon as she wasn't literally campaigning for him when she was going to be running as first lady, I knew she was not a ride or die. So.
But fair enough. She doesn't want to be with him anymore. Fair enough. It's just sad that she doesn't want to be with him anymore. But now Kanye's open for the taking.
Yeah, I was saying like Rihanna's not, linked up.
Rihanna's not gonna. No.
Why?
I don't think Rihanna and Kanye are on that vibe.
Yeah.
They're on the vibe in terms of like obviously make good music together. But I don't think they're on the vibe.
They've got like they've got loads of bangers together. So there's
I'm trying to think of Rihanna and Kanye. Huh?
The Paul McCartney one.
Oh, 4 5 seconds.
Yeah. Where they discovered Paul McCartney. Do you remember
that? Yeah. Who's Paul McCartney?
Who's this Paul McCartney bloke? He's so lucky. He's like,
one of the most famous guys.
Ridiculous. Youths.
Oh,
these days.
Youths. And what's another Kanye? Oh, I'm literally thinking. No, not all of it. Is it All of the Lights? Extra bright on what y'all. Is that Rihanna?
We will check.
It is.
Well, when the music person is making all of your sing-alongs in one thing, they'll have to like obviously give credit to all the music, and we'll find it then.
That's so true. I can't believe it.
We're still taking applications for that. Yeah. It's going to be a sold out album, I think. Do you think?
Maybe.
Believe in yourself.
Okay.
Believe in yourself. Exactly. Cool. Yeah. So I just think as celebrity drama goes, you saw it coming, right?
Yeah, but they were brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Power. I think of all the little kiddos. Not all the little kiddos. The kiddos.
The kiddos. How many do they have?
4.
4.
Yeah.
Wow.
Where the hell go? North, Saint.
Oh,
North,
should have gone
Saint,
north, east.
West.
I was like, Molly Elephant count. Yeah, I was trying to remember the Scouts way of remembering it.
Wait, what was it? North, Saint, Psalm, Chicago. I said those in the wrong order, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll say names with character.
Which one of them was attempted to be aborted? Thanks to that Twitter rant, Kanye.
Wait, that was.
North.
Oh yeah, he said
because they weren't married.
Daughter, I almost killed my daughter.
It's not funny. Abortion is not funny.
Is serious.
Really serious. Don't do it unless you need to. Then do it.
Are you telling them what to do with their body?
No, absolutely not.
Sound like
do whatever makes you happy, guys.
Exactly. But yeah, it's very sad for Kim and Kanye. But yeah, I mean, it was to be expected. So what else has been going on in life? I mean, oh yeah, you also want to tell me about you want to talk about the
Shamima.
Shamima?
Is her name?
Can either confirm nor deny. The Syria girl? The British girl?
I think her name's Shamima. But okay. Shamima Begum, that's it. Basically, she's just been denied entry again into Britain. I'm just a bit confused. Like, why is she still relevant? I feel like that was how many years ago?
Yeah, so I like have obviously seen it in the news throughout how many years it's been like raving on. So from what I understand, like she left at 50, got married off to a Syrian guy, was radicalized and was like formally a part of like ISIS there. And now she's like, you know what? I don't really want to do this anymore. I want to go home. I know I was, a terrorist, but I just I'm doing a career path now, a different career path. I want to go home. Like I feel like you can't just do that. And yeah, it seems really crazy that this is like a two-sided argument to me.
You know what? I'm gonna disagree with you here.
I know you are. Yeah.
Right, and this is why. Because who knows whether she did any actual like participating in the terrorist plot. Not only that, but she could have some valuable information on the terrorist plots that would actually help the UK.
Then they could do a deal. Fair enough if they do a deal.
Yeah, why haven't they done a deal? Because she doesn't know anything. Because she just went and joined ISIS, but didn't actually join ISIS.
But I feel like any joining ISIS is enough. Like it's different if she was 15.
You can take back bad decisions, Jeremy.
If I murdered people, if I just like shot up a school, that's a bad decision.
She didn't kill anyone that we know.
I'm not saying she's killed anybody, but what I mean to say is, if you leave flee the country, and then indoctrinate yourself into a terrorist organization. Okay, so put it like a parallel.
Freedom of speech.
There was freedom of speech. One.
What? Sorry, the KKK was allowed to exist.
No, so if she was doing that here, then she should be arrested for conspiracy to commit terror or something.
No.
Not, but like she went somewhere else, married into citizenship, presumably. So like, cool. You went there, you made that decision. You can stay there. It's not like we're like sentencing her to death or like assassinating her. We're not doing a Russia.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, exactly. We're not giving her the present of coming back. Yeah.
She's just not allowed to come back.
Like, do you remember when it was last year, maybe last year or the year before that, and basically there was people who were mentally deranged and also mentally deranged or indoctrinated, and they just come out of like prison or something, but they were still in a program. And basically they escaped and they went trying to stab people on the bridge, and then those people like jumped them.
Oh my god, was that the London Bridge attack?
It wasn't it was like the one after that. It wasn't London Bridge attacks where they killed like loads and loads of people. It was literally they escaped from this like this thing, and I think they killed like 2 young students, maybe some other people. But basically, like the pressure was on because it was like these people were literally terrorists, and you let them out, and then they immediately kill somebody the first, or like you let them into like you're about to let them out, but they're in this like minimum security thing to like this rehab type thing, and then they escaped and they kill people. So I'm saying like, obviously that's an example where okay they escaped, and they are British citizens, they were in Britain or whatever. Like it wasn't fully the government's fault, but to let someone back in who's literally like called themselves part of ISIS, like that seems a little bit unnecessary. And I feel like it's become a race thing, and like, oh, because she's Muslim and whatever. But I saw this thing where someone was like, oh, well, there's a 15-year-old boy who declared himself an extremist terrorist, and he had his UK citizenship revoked from him, and he was white and 15 as well. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It just seems.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree with what you're saying. I don't know, but like maybe someone could re-educate her into why ISIS is not great.
Yeah, I think that's what she needs. I just don't know if it's this country's responsibility to do that. Like,
I mean, she was born and raised here, so maybe it is their responsibility. Something went wrong, clearly.
Yeah, I think if she was here, I don't think she should. Well, I wouldn't be like definitely she should be deported. I think the country should take responsibility for like its citizens, but because she like went to Syria to live, she shouldn't suddenly be able to come
obviously,
back.
like she has responsibility for her own actions as well.
Yeah,
it's a sticky one. I just want to know what she was doing. You know, a boy from a school in my area. I was going to say something. I feel like you know what I mean, but
go on and I'll see if I can.
Yeah, think what I was going to say then. A boy from a school in my area went to ISIS. I just didn't mention that. I didn't mention the person that told me for a reason, but like, yeah, like joined ISIS and like was tweeting that all.
Wait, was like an antisocial kid kind of thing who was like just tweeting like sympathetic ISIS stuff, or like fully went to Syria?
He went to ISIS and was tweeting in ISIS like when he was there, like all I want is a Domino's right now.
No, he went to like was this Syria, Pakistan, or where is it?
I have no idea where it was.
But he
some ISIS camp, yeah.
And he was on his normal Twitter, like
yeah.
Nothing was going on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's some 4 line shit. Shout out to 4 lines.
That movie is good,
hilarious,
funny, and then super dark at the end.
It is quite dark, but you know, terrorism tends to be
the ending. Yeah, true. That is true. There's nothing. I was about to say there's nothing funny about terrorism, but like there's so many movies about terrorism.
Yeah, that's quite a funny terrorist movie. I think it was very funny.
Dictator. Shout out to Sacha Baron Cohen again.
Yes, another funny dictator. Oh, what's the one where they're like puppets? Not puppets, but like.
Oh my god!
Captain America.
No,
Captain America, right?
No,
Captain America.
Is that about terrorism?
Yeah, that's about Kim Jong-un, isn't it? Blowing up America.
No, that's The Interview.
That is also about Kim Jong-un, but no, it wasn't Kim Jong-un. It was another Asian dictator, I think. That's Captain America, no?
America, fuck yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Is that called Captain America?
It doesn't. Not called.
It's called Team America. It's called Team America.
Team America. Yeah.
See how Captain America. Captain America is way more wholesome than that. Although Captain America.
Well, actually, in Civil War. Oh.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, exactly. And he was helping, like, the Marvel version of Nazis with Bucky. So.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Kind of a terrorist. Just saying that. And when they wanted to get them all like licensed, so they weren't vigilantes anymore, he was like, "But the government."
Exactly. What are we talking about? Like, good terrorists.
Excuse me.
Because like say the Black Panthers could have been classed as a terrorist organization.
I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. But everyone loved them.
Yeah, I guess like any organized group that part of its objectives is to inflict terror, is fair to call them a terrorist group. I guess it's subjective whether you think the reason they're doing that's good, because like some people like think about it, like even with terrorism as we know it, so the Taliban, ISIS, whatever they think. We basically bomb their countries and their children die as a result.
This is what I'm
so they
saying.
bomb
It's
us back.
actually like you really, really need to look into it, because I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know what the Syrian version of me is thinking that in Syria. You know what I mean? Like someone my
Not
age.
very much. You're not allowed to think that's a crime.
Oh my god. Fuck.
I'm joking.
But she could be just like, do you get what I mean? In school, America, evil,
Yeah,
evil,
definitely.
Britain, evil. I mean, if I'm not gonna lie, if I was in like, say where we're actually from, and I was sitting in school, and I was, well, I'm not gonna lie, I do think America and Britain are quite evil anyway. If I was actually there thinking, oh, recently colonized country, just chilling, like 50 years ago, my parents or grandparents were not slaves, but subjugated to a certain extent.
Well, if you're born in Ghana, you think you'd be resentful towards England?
Yeah, probably.
I didn't even like. I learned about the slave trade in Ghana, and it wasn't that. I mean, it was in international school, I guess, but
exactly, they were indoctrinating you in the school in Ghana.
They seem to be over it. No, yeah, no, but the point being is like, you can't blame people for like a completely different perspective, and it's the same way that we're like, fuck terrorists. I'd be like, fuck the West or whatever. Like, oh my god, that reminds me of Jesus Camp. Do you remember Jesus Camp?
Did we go to Jesus Camp?
No, we didn't.
Oh, okay.
I fucking hope not. It's basically this like, it was just like a documentary in America on this crazy radical evangelical group, and there's a woman that's like ahead of it, and she gets all the kids like rolled on the floor and like speaking tongues and stuff. And she's being interviewed, and she was like, "Well, basically, like, it's my main aim of all this is like, I just look at the terrorists, that attack this country, and I just want our kids to have that same level of commitment, like die for our faith and for our country." And that's what she was saying.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it's in group and out group. Is pretty serious, and that will come into when we speak about research projects later and what we're up to with our lives. Yeah, it will definitely come up. But I think so there's one more thing, like trending thing that we wanted to speak about, and that is what seems to be a very controversial area with what's going on with like certain how do I even define it, gender identity stuff. Oh,
right. I forgot what we were talking about for a second, and then I was like, oh, fuck, this sticky one.
Mr. Potato is no longer Mr. Potato.
He is now... Oh,
They are
now.
So they are...
Potato? What would you call it? How would you refer to a transgender person?
I guess
in
you don't.
The
I guess it's
Mr. They don't have. That's not a thing.
Not applicable. I guess it's just. I guess you just don't. You can't shorten their name that way. I guess you have to.
If you were to email a transgender teacher, for example, I mean, sorry, not transgender, non-binary, would you just be like
Greg, whatever? Yeah, I don't think there's a Mr. Oh, there must be like a Miss X or like a. They must have come up with some.
No, but Miss is feminine.
No, like some sort of like Mr. X or like I can't think of anything. Like the word X.
Masculine.
Or I don't know, like yeah, like MX.
To whom I'm speaking to.
to who this may. Was it to who this may concern?
To who this may concern. I love email lingo. It's so funny.
Well, now in emails you got to say your pronouns if you're at uni. So.
Oh yeah, and in your fucking Zoom link you've got blue brackets. Like, I don't do
that. Yeah. I was in a like thing with the uni, and we weren't allowed to not say our pronouns. We had to say our pronouns. It wasn't like those who need to like give a preference. It was like you just have to say your pronouns. But it's the thing. We're trying to normalize it.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not trying to press about having to say your pronouns, but like I'm quite happy to just say like he, but I definitely should go the way around. It should be like if somebody wants to say their pronouns, if it matters to them, then they can say it, and we should all try our best to heed that. Not everyone has to say it to normalize it, because it's not something that most people.
But I mean, let me tell you something funny quickly. I have a friend who gave it a piece of work about. I don't really know what it was, but she wrote the word like the femininity of the person, or like something like that.
Right.
Feminine prowess. Let's go for that, something like that. And then the teacher was like, remember, feminine is not like, I can't remember what she said, but she legit said like this is not applicable anymore, or something like that, or like this is too, you're assuming like assuming the gender of this person. They were like, what writing about? But like, imagine I would have emailed her back and been like, are you okay?
Imagine like
Because
you had like
femininity and masculinity do fucking exist still. I just want to put that out there. Still exist.
they're descriptors of something that most people are happy to be described by. Like, I imagine like you're like a 5-year-old kid and you're doing like your English homework, and they're like, Katie went to the store, and then they like said in comprehension who went to the store, and you were like, she bought. You're like, no, they bought. Cameron, they bought. Wrong.
Cameron, no. I see what you tried to do.
Yeah.
Oh, not in this 2021.
As a white male, you're inherently oppressive, and it's okay. It doesn't matter that you're 5. It's in your DNA, and it will never leave. But just please try. Fuck me.
Oh, kids. Bless little Cameron. Could.
Yeah. I mean, Christian, our brother, has somebody who how do you describe it? They're non-binary, or they want to
I don't know. What are they?
Yeah. For me, like, to be honest, we chat shit, but like, I think non-binary actually, like, I feel like it's always so polarized that people are like, oh, liberal freaks, or people are like, oh, you ignorant people. I don't think it's that base. Like, I understand what non-binary means. Like, if you don't feel like you're particularly masculine or you're particularly feminine, I get just saying like, as to describe yourself, you're like, oh, I'm not masculine, I'm not feminine, I'm like non-binary, which basically means you're neither of those things. That makes sense to me. But like, so I don't have a problem if somebody just said that to me, and then as a result, if they feel like being called he or she describes them as masculine or feminine, that's not right, then yeah, if I knew the person and they said, can you call me there?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you'd give them the respect that you would just give to anyone.
For sure, yeah.
But for the onus to be on everyone to sort of just now for this to be the norm, I think that's a bit fucking wild.
Because I think quite honest. Yeah, just like at schools and stuff, you're gonna have to have rules about it, and it's just like the whole free speech thing, and like monitoring people's speech and stuff. I mean, I'll ask him when I see him next if the kids are actually calling them they. But do you think they will at 14, 15? Would you?
Yeah. I don't know. What was I like at 14?
See, my biggest concern wouldn't be like bullies, although there are bullies for sure. It would be people like, it'd either be bullies or people who respect it but don't want to say the wrong thing, so avoid them. Because I feel like, you get what I mean? Like, oh, I said it once and they fucking like cried. Then I'm not going to want to upset that person again, and so I'm going to be like, I won't be able to be myself and relaxed around them. And I feel sorry for the kid, because I feel like the world is pushing on them that they need to like be active about this and represent their community, X, Y, and Z. But then that's kind of making it harder for them to socialize, you know. And I don't think just the weight of like re-socializing the world should be on kids. You know, that should be more of like a adult theme that trickles down, you know.
Well, it depends what it is. Like, for example, racism. I feel like not the onus is on kids, but like teaching kids not to be racist little shits. Yeah, but like, okay, so if, like when we have kids, right, and like black kids, if they are black, they're like, people see them as black, so if people want to be racist towards them, that's going to affect them like today. Whereas if we have kids, that don't feel masculine or feminine, that's a little bit less obvious what to do about that, because it's not like, we're not going to tell black kids like, oh, go in whiteface or something like that, because it'll be easy to fit in. Like, what the fuck? Can't do that. But you can say like, maybe let's talk about what you feel is the most comfortable way to go about this. Like, again, to be honest, by that time, like, gender will be abolished and everyone will be days. But like, yeah, I feel like, isn't that school in Switzerland where like everyone has to be like non-binary or something like that.
Everyone has to be
Or
non-binary.
like not has to, or like they don't.
You just can't refer to gender. You can't be a gender.
It's not. Yeah, it's like they don't have gender.
Madness. Like all of this stuff.
I don't know. It just seems very biological to me.
Like if we like dissolve the social constructs that are gender, then that would be better for non-binary people, but it wouldn't be better for binary people.
Which is literally the vast majority.
Yeah, so I mean,
there's obviously social constructs, like the social constructs within like feminine and masculinity that just don't matter. Like obviously, you and I have masculine traits, I have feminine traits. I just have traits in general. Like they don't need to be put in this box or whatever. Do. But I'm also very much I'm very much a woman, and some things are that literally I can't change.
Yeah, and you might want some things assumed about you. Like you might want people to take into consideration the fact that you're a woman in certain circumstances. And I remember beginning of Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. He basically speaks about chaos and order, and he says like femininity. He like speaks about like the background of like the like the yin yang symbol.
Yeah.
And he basically says like one represents femininity, one represents chaos, represents femininity, and order represents masculinity. And people took that to mean like women are crazy. But what it means is like we all have both of those things that you just said in us, and we need both, combination of both. Like sometimes we need to be more like creative and less ordered, and then sometimes we need to be more like ordered and to get things done. And that's not to say all women are only feminine and therefore only chaotic, and all men. And it's just to say those things in like, for example, in a partnership, if you have a man and a woman, let's say, who or a more feminine person and a more masculine person, obviously they can be two men or whatever. Then if they have those complementary like characteristics that like helps that like, do you know what I mean, add something to the thing, I think that's okay. But that doesn't have to fall within like you, for example, say that you might say like sometimes I feel masculine in this area, whether like that's cool, but that's for you to say. People who know you can know that, but like, you know,
I don't know. It's a bit of a mad one. I feel like I've offended about 1 billion people in this, and I'm actually scared to post it.
Then look, we want people to be brave and, you know, shape the world the way it's supposed to be. And how do you do that?
By letting everyone give their opinions and listening to everyone, and then taking into account what everyone says, and then forming your own opinion based on it.
Because these are opinions, because we're not right or preaching. These are our thoughts and feelings. But
true.
Okay, yeah. So what do you make of the like having a day potato and making it like in a kids program, or like the NHS where they've changed breast implants to be chest implants?
What? The chest implant thing doesn't make sense because someone who wants to get breasts wants to be feminine anyway. They want to be classed as a female, so they want to call it breasts. And a breast is literally the medical term for it. It's a fucking breastbone. I don't even know.
Males
have breastbones. It's just a fucking neutral thing. So that is ridiculous. That's stupid. Number 2, Mr. Potato Head. They had Mr. Potato Head. They could have made a new fucking rainbow unicorn. James, what's a neutral name? Charlie the fucking unicorn. Back from the previous podcast. We wanted to name the other podcast, but we didn't.
Yeah.
I feel like we found a name for this podcast.
What rename?
Yeah.
No, we'd have to. Charlie the fucking unicorn. But So like I get what you're saying. So you could have had, why rebrand an existing character? Yeah. Why not bring in a character? Like I think if they did that, they shouldn't make it
Rainbow
like
Sheet.
Bar Rainbow Sheet. Oh right, instead of Black Sheet.
Let's just acknowledge that the children's nursery rhyme was fucking racist, but we could sing it.
It is super racist, to be fair.
It's
just
racist.
Try and popularize a less racist thing than
exactly,
have this whole debate. Yeah, and I think a potato toy doesn't necessarily have to. A big part of it doesn't have to be if it's man or woman. So if you want to have a character in Toy Story, that's just like the monsters, the little monsters. Are they boys or girls? I don't know.
They're just little.
Yeah, exactly. So
nothing.
That, and then like instead of saying like, oh, I'm they, and like get the animated thing to talk about like gender politics, just have something that it's not stated, and therefore isn't important. But people still love the little monsters, So
Like
and
the
obviously
minions. Oh, do the minions have names? Because
yeah,
the minions could literally be. They do have names actually.
They do. It's like Bob, and like they do have like male names.
Steve.
But I mean,
they could be men, women. I don't care. I mean,
again, like no one dwells on like, are they boys or girls? It's like they love minions or whatever, the kids love minions or not. So you can just like not make gender a defining part of that character if you want more characters that don't have gender as a defining part of their character, rather than like saying that no characters can have gender as a defining part of their character. Yeah, I think that's a good way to sum up.
No, the last thing, the law that Biden put into place, which meant that transgender females could play in male sports. No, in female sports. Which
it's
I think mental.
All of this is absolutely crazy. So I think the biggest example is Caster Semenya. For those who don't know, she is the 100-meter or 200-meter record holder in the female Olympics.
I don't know.
She's a well-decorated
record holder
Olympian, and she has XY chromosomes, ridiculously high testosterone, and had ambiguous genitalia at birth, I believe. Obviously, these are all things I'm recalling, so that's wrong anyway. Please check this. This isn't relevant, but obviously, I think people bring this into the conversation because they think it's like bias. She's also has a wife, and everything else. So like, it's not. Yeah. So basically, she's been stripped of her titles and won't be able to compete.
I don't agree with that though.
Okay, so I'll tell you why I think it should happen, why it's not fair but needs to happen, and you can tell me why you think not. So the way I see it, and this is very controversial, this is the way I see it, male sport, for example, take the Olympics. Olympics is supposed to be the peak performance for what the humans can do. So Usain Bolt represents the fastest person in the world and that's ever lived or whatever, and Michael Phelps for the best swimmer and X, Y, and Z. It's captivating
because the best people in the world at sport are always going to be men. No offense to women, love you all, but that's just fact. I'm also a woman. It doesn't bother me.
Exactly. The fastest man is always going to be the fastest person, X, Y, and Z. Yes, but I appreciate that. I want, for example, if I had a daughter and she loves tennis, I want her to have the same dreams to go to the Olympics or running or whatever it is. So I get that representation by having female Olympics is good for getting women to love sports, because sports is more than just about like performances. It's also like the communities and the blah, blah, blah.
Exactly, yeah.
So I get why there is the Women's Olympics. It's the same thing with and this is going to be controversial, and I'm not saying women are disabled, but again, it's the same thing I say with the Paralympics. Like, I understand why that's there. I'm not saying they are the peak performances, but they're truly inspirational stories to say like your disability doesn't have to be the only thing about you. You can be an Olympian, you can be like achieve greatness. So I get like there's different things about sport that's more than just like the best, but just with those things, they are there because they represent something powerful that isn't about performance. But then when you take performance, like the reason why there is a men Olympics and female Olympics, not just the people, is because only men would be involved in the Olympics if it was just on merit. But you mix
exactly, yeah.
And then my daughter wouldn't have.
Imagine if they did that. Imagine the anger that women would feel. The anger that women would feel if they decided to just have a mixed Olympics.
Well, with the anger, they would be happy until there was no women who qualified.
Exactly.
So yeah, so then I know I'm going on a little bit, but yeah, basically that's what would happen. So you have to appreciate the Women's Olympics is not the same thing as the male Olympics. It's not the women equivalent. It's a subcategory that's really great to have, but it's a different thing. And so the reason why they're separate is because women are biologically different to men. There's a spectrum of that on both sides, right? All the women female Olympians could smash me in everything they do, right? As a man. But it's a separate category for a particular subgroup of people, women in this case, to compete with people who are at their level. Caster Semenya is not good enough to qualify in the men's sport, but she's an excellent athlete. So people think, okay, she should be somewhere. The reason why I don't think she should be with the women is because the exact same reason why I, or maybe not me, but like how men who can't qualify, the other men who can't qualify for the Olympics, shouldn't be in it, which is that they have the levels of testosterone, the bone density, the muscle mass, everything else that more similar to this group of people, that it's not fair for these people that specifically grouped off because they don't have those advantages. And so allowing her to compete is basically like allowing a man to compete, which undermines having a women's sport. That's my spiel. What do you think?
You know what? I do agree with that as well. But at the end of the day, she just is an elite woman. She was literally born a woman. Like, biologically, did she have a womb?
I think so, but
Yeah.
I think she has other ambiguity, like in her sexual organs. But
you know what? She's too much of a really unique case.
Yeah,
that's a really sticky one to be honest. Because if she has all the biological characteristics of a man, she should not be competing in female sports.
exactly.
But if she doesn't, she's just a fucking tank, like Serena Williams, for example.
Yeah, so Serena Williams has said herself that she would, I think it was something like, she wouldn't even beat the top 200th man in tennis. She said that herself.
Yeah, like, but she's a tank, but like she'd smash like the majority. She just is a tank. Like, as in you can see that she's built like a tank, but she's still a woman.
Yeah.
And so even though she's built like a most elite woman tank, the most elite man tank is going to be like literally double the size of her.
So we, again, this is not taking the piss, but Michael, our cousin, who we had on the last episode, watch it if you haven't seen it, he ran like 11 seconds in the Olympics at school when he was like 14. He ran track at that time. That's fast. That's like, I think we looked it up. His time was like a few milliseconds off the women's record, like the women's record. And he did that at 14. Like, it just shows you it's not about.
That's so sad.
Like, that doesn't mean women and Serena Williams shouldn't be celebrated, because the training they put in, the mentality, the like, all that sort of stuff is what should be celebrated. But like, it's not the same level playing field. So I just don't. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's not a level playing field. That's just the reality of life.
For sure.
But you know what's a level playing field? Everything else. Because women and men have the same brains.
They do indeed. Exactly. Yeah. And if it was an area where there was a distinction, I would like to think that I would make the exact same case for women. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not gonna speculate whatever, because we haven't got a specific thing. But yeah, if there was, I'd like to think like, no, men aren't at the level playing field for women to do that, like giving birth, for example. I mean, there's no men can't give birth at all, but yeah, like I think it's harder to compare it to something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I definitely think I get why it's peak on her. And if you just look at her, it's like you say, she's so unique in being in this grey area that it kind of blows up the whole thing either way. Like, if she wasn't there, this conversation would probably rarely happen, if ever.
Yeah.
But I think that just, there are going to be men who are amazing athletes, but they're not good enough for the Olympics. And I feel like just as that's sad on them, it's kind of the same thing for her. That's the way I see it. Because I think she should be able to compete in the Olympics if she wants to. She just wouldn't compete.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So we also wanted to just speak a bit about, obviously we're both at school doing students, and we're doing research projects. You want to tell me a little bit about what you've been thinking for yours?
Yeah. So I am going to do my dissertation on Pan-Africanism and Kwame Nkrumah. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna which bits or what I'm gonna focus on. But yeah, I feel like that's just what I've come to. Like, obviously I've been doing post-colonialism, studying it for ages, and kept narrowing down, and Nkrumah is a legend. He's my favorite post-colonial thinker. So I thought might as well do him, and his ideas are pretty cool as well. And it's just a different subsection of socialism, so it's going to be pretty interesting. And I get to study about Ghana, which is so fun, because I never pick it as a topic to study at uni. I don't know why.
Should that be awesome if you could do interviews in Ghana as part of the?
Oh my god, that would be
good.
so.
You can interview Ghanaians.
Yeah, I could interview Ghanaians. I don't want to do all that all the stuff that, you know what I mean. But then I have to make
analysis.
a research. Yeah, I have to do be like more political sciencey, and I fucking hate that. I'm much more
Yeah.
of a political theorist.
Yeah, fair enough. But I just meant like it'd be a cool thing to like. I mean, they're not gonna
Yeah,
send you
okay.
out there, but
Yeah.
you just go on holiday and
Imagine
like
imagine if they paid for a trip for me to go to Ghana. That'd be sick.
that'll be sick. Yeah. Yeah. No, but that sounds really interesting. So okay, so what would like the research? How does it work? So obviously I've done research as an engineer. I'm doing research as a psychologist now, but I have no idea how that works. Kind of in the political history field. So like, is there a research question? Like, how is it broken down?
Yeah. I'll have to do a question. I don't really know what I'm gonna do. Like narrow it down. Like maybe like uh maybe like why didn't Pan-Africanism work, or was it the best solution for the African continent at the time, or Kwame Nkrumah's thoughts on Pan-Africanism or something like that. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, cool. So like, it's more you read all the reading, you do all the reading around it, and then you like compare all of it and write it in your own way, but you don't necessarily collect data of any kind, do you?
No. I can
Okay.
if I want
Yeah.
to, but I really don't want to. It's like my least favorite thing to do is in this degree is to collect
Yeah, I mean,
data.
no one really likes it, even people that do it for a living. That's the
Oh,
boring part. It's the
I think
what you
yeah.
find is
It's not
interesting
the
part.
boring part. It's like I just will get a worse mark. Like they're always like, "Oh, you'll get a really good mark if you do research methods." But I'm like, I won't because I don't enjoy it. I'm not good at it. I will just get a better mark in doing a political theory dissertation because that's what I'm better at and that's what I enjoy. So
Cool. Yeah. I mean, can you do anything else with it? Like make a documentary, or like could you how what's the scope?
no, it has to be like 10,000 words.
Okay, so it's
Words.
like it has got like a very. It's not just like a project, but yeah, openly. It's like there's a structure to it, kind of thing. Writing it
Yeah.
up.
What
Cool. Yeah,
about
but it sounds
you,
exciting. Yeah.
Bray?
So yeah, no, well, I look forward to reading it. Well, actually, it's gonna be like 20,000 words or something.
No, it's like 10 or 12. I think it's not very long.
Yeah, I'll listen to it anyway. So yeah, my research project is a combination of social psychology, which I love, and cognitive. So I don't know if I've spoken about it at all in the podcast so far, any of the aspects of it. But yeah, so essentially what it is. So there's a group of people called who are aphantasic, which basically means they can't visualize in their mind's eye like we can. So if I told you to like picture an apple, you could see apple in your head presumably, but some people just see black. Some people see like the faintest thing. Some people know they're thinking of an apple but haven't got an image of it. And it's basically like poor like ability to imagine. Some people can't like think words in their mind, things like that.
Oh my
And then
god.
you get people called hyperphantasics who can see like vividly.
Wait.
So yeah, that's like basically the cognitive part of it, like the what's happening in the brain. And then basically on the social side of it, there's something called priming. So it's like what Darren Brown does basically, and it's like behind like what's it called, bias and stuff like that. But basically, yeah, you can prime security attachment, which basically means like security is attachment styles is basically like the whole thing of like how you were raised, like was it avoidant, was it anxious, was it secure, and then that's how it kind of comes into your relationships now, like romantic relationships, friendship, blah blah blah. But basically it's generally that if you're secure, you're more like trusting people, you're more confident, blah blah blah. If it's anxious, you're more anxious. If it's avoidant, you're more like you avoid basically relationships and certain things. But basically the idea is that you can, if you think about the person that is secure for you, even if whatever you are, that can make you feel like in the moment. It can raise your self-esteem, make you feel less depressed, less anxious, more willing to take on challenges, that sort of stuff.
God.
So that's one side of it. The other side of it was about group prejudice. So it's that, like, for example, I was thinking about doing it about. So I thought about doing it with minorities and the police, very topical. But the ethics for that's quite difficult. So I also thought about doing it with British nationals and ISIS. I remember I said it ties in.
Oh yeah.
So you check with like a survey that they do have the kind of assumed prejudices against ISIS people, and then you prime them to think of like an ISIS member doing something like helping them out, doing something good, whatever, and then versus not doing that and just doing something neutral. And then afterwards, basically, you get assessed on like what you would do to them, like outgroup harm. So would you be in for like voting for them to have them bombed, or like would you be for that kind of thing? And then the idea is like if you visualize them being what you don't like non-stereotypical, like really nice and intelligent and blah blah blah, then you would be less likely to want to harm them. But that's loads of ethical bullshit, and so I couldn't quite do that. So I went to the attachment stuff, and I'm going to do it on like basically like have connotations for therapy, so making yourself feel good, self-esteem. So basically you'll visualize somebody like your mum and a time when she helped you. So let's say a time when you were really upset and your mum like hugged you and you felt better, and you visualize that for 3 minutes, something like that. It could be a boyfriend, it could be a friend, it could be whatever. That's kind of will be described to you. And then after that, they'll assess like your mood from the baseline you took before it. But I also had a couple of other ideas. Like one is this: basically, there's these Chinese puzzles that are really hard, and there's like easy, medium, and hard ones. And like the hard ones, you would get more like research points if you took on that one. But easier one, you get less research points. And so you have to pick one. And the idea is if you're feeling more confident from like feeling secure by thinking about your mum, whatever it is, you'll pick the harder puzzles and be open to more challenges. Yeah. So there's so many like little theories in there, like I'm trying to like smush together to be like a master's level thing.
Yeah, it sounds it's going to be hard. Good luck.
Yeah.
If you need anyone to like survey or anything, hit me up.
Opportunity sampling, we call it, which means basically as long as you're an adult, anyone can do it.
I can't. This is what I'm talking about. All the sampling shit. I'm just not doing it.
It just means opportunity sampling. Literally, just means you don't have to like pick certain groups of people. You can just ask anybody. I think it have to be an adult, because we're comparing people like with normal ability to visualize with people without. So it can be you versus and we compare that with somebody who can't do that. The effects of it. So yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. But it's got me swamped at the minute. I've literally got a meeting just after this to hopefully finalize it, but yes, that will be taking up my summer.
Yay! That's going to be fun trying to do a podcast with you every week whilst we're doing this.
It'll be fun. I'll keep if you're really interested in it, I'll keep people updated on it.
Yeah,
it should be fun. But yeah, no, that's just what busy student life as in quarantine, just kind of in the zone, but cannot wait to have that sorted out, accepted, everything open up, and just breathe. Sigh of relief.
That's definitely what you need.
Yeah, and you too.
Yeah, and me too.
This is your last summer.
Stop. No, it's not.
This is your last like
all right
summer.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm going to spend my whole life saving. This is why I actually don't care. This is why I don't like. I'm just going to spend money on things that I want to do, and then just I'm going to do that. I don't really.
Yeah, I mean, you've saved so much money this year. You know what you want to do straight afterwards, and I'm sure you'll get it. You're not doing a master's,
exactly.
Which, trust me, they can be expensive.
Exactly.
So I feel like you deserve to let loose and have an amazing summer, and so do all of yours.
Yeah, have a fun summer, guys.
Yeah,
thanks for listening.
Maybe we'll have a podcast party. You think we should have a festival?
Yeah. We should have a podcast, like when we get to like I don't know how many episodes will be in by an episode landmark like 25 or something.
Yeah, or maybe like a subscribers landmark. So it's really up to you guys. Yeah.
True.
If you want to share this with anybody, because there's a festival in it for you now, share it. We'd love to get more and more listeners, and feel free to critique us or tell us what you want to hear, whatever. This is an interactive podcast.
Right. Should I? Yeah. I was going to sing bye, but I'm not doing it actually because you gave me a look. So
no, I won't.
Bye.
I won't. No, I won't look at you. Sing it.
Jeremy.
No. Sing it. You need to sing it.
No. You put me on the spot. Stop.
Hum it. Rap it. Any medium. I won't look at you.
Baby, bye. Bye.
Okay. Smash that like button. And see you guys next week. Okay.
Bye.